What is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I am back at it again with the new budget series for you guys today. And today's budget deck profile is going to be a 3x Legendary Dragon Dex Dark Magician deck profile. Guys, this deck used to be very expensive. Circles used to be like $50, Navigation used to be like $50, Apprentice Magician used to be like $120, but now since the release of the new Legendary Dragon Dex, this deck is super duper cheap. And if you guys want to build this deck, all you guys gotta do is get, 3 of these Legendary Dragon Decks, or even just 2 Legendary Dragon Decks, and just pick up the rest of the commons, or just pick up the rest of the foils as singles, and you guys will have this complete deck. The main objective of this video is to give you guys the cheapest budget Dark Magician deck profile using only 3 Legendary Dragon structure decks. There's gonna be no cards that's gonna be used in this deck profile that are not in the Legendary Dragon deck. So every card you see in this deck profile will be in the Legendary Dragon deck. So all you guys gotta do is get 3 copies of these Legendary Dragon decks, and you have this entire Dark Magician deck. And I'm just really happy now that this deck is finally budget. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And by the way guys, if you guys want to help support the channel, I have an official TeamSamuraiX1 100K playmat available for you guys to purchase. Here's the playmat right here. It's the Dark Magician playmat. So if you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you guys get your Dark Magician 100K official playmat today. I'll leave a link in the description box below that links you to my Facebook page. All you guys gotta do is message me and I'll give you guys details on shippings and things like that. I do free shipping to Canada and USA. International shipping may cost extra. I took a lot of time and effort to actually design this mat. So if you guys want to help support the channel and help celebrate the milestone with me, make sure you guys get your Dark Magician 100K official playmat today. That'll be absolutely amazing. Let's just start with the deck profile, and I'm just really happy that we finally got this card right here. What is it? Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. This card is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look at the artwork of that card, guys. And this card is literally making this deck very competitive. So I'll explain to you guys further when I progress through the deck profile. But let's start it. Start off with a monster, obviously. You want to play a triple Dark Magician. You're playing a Dark Magician deck, and you literally get 3 copies of Dark Magician in 1 Legendary Dragon deck. So 3 copies of Dark Magician. And of course, the next card you guys want to play is definitely triple Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card is absolutely phenomenal. You guys don't know what an Apprentice Illusion Magician does. You can basically discard 1 card to special summon her from your hand. Once she's summoned, you basically get to add a Dark Magician directly from your deck to your hand, which is really powerful. So she gives you instant access to Dark Magician right away. So, commonly off with Apprentice Illusion Magician with Dark Magician, she sends her to the graveyard. Dark Magician can trample over anything. It will become 4,500 attack, which is really strong. So you can beat cards over like Chaos Max and Masterpiece, which is really amazing. I'm just really glad that this card finally got reprinted. I know that a lot of budget players are loving the fact that people can now have access to Apprentice Illusion Magician. So shout outs to Konami for actually reprinting this card in this Legendary Dragon deck. Next off, one of the best cards in the deck again, triple Magician's Rod. No need to explain Rod there. Rod is your shout outs to the deck, able to search you any Dark Magician Spell and Trap card directly from your deck to your hand. So instantly gets you access to Dark Magical Circle, gives you access to Magician's Navigation, and also access to cards like Eternal Soul, which is really powerful. And the secondary effect is actually really good as well because you can tribute spellcaster monster during your opponent's turn, and then you can add this card directly to your hand. So that way you have more access to more of your spell and trap cards within the following turn, which is amazing. So triple Magician's Rod. Next out, play double Magician's Robe. The reason why Robe is in here is because it's essentially another name for Dark Magician. If you don't see Dark Magician in your opening hand, you want to see Robe. Robe effect is that during your opponent's turn, you can discard a spell and trap card to the graveyard to special summon Dark Magician directly from the deck, which is amazing. So Robe with a spell or trap card in your hand is essentially a Dark Magician. So double copies of that. Last but not least, guys, shout outs to Dark Magician Girl. You play 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. You have a lot of cards you guys can actually play in the deck, but I decided to actually throw in Dark Magician Girl in there because 1, it's a budget version. 2, you can actually make the Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight, which is really awesome with the Eye of Timaeus, which is really good. And the reason why she's in here is because you're able to tutor her out with Magician's Navigation, which is really awesome. So she can just become another 2,000 body on the board, especially making Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight, which can essentially just pop a card on the field, which is really amazing. So Dark Magician Girl is in here because you have access to the extra deck monster, and also you have access to her directly from the deck using cards like Magician's Navigation, which is really awesome. So 1 Dark Magician Girl. And last but not least, to fill in our monster space, you can play Breaker the Magical Warrior. All the other monsters, in my personal opinion, from the legendary decks are mediocre at best. There's not a lot of good cards aside from the main Dark Magician monster. You guys don't even have to play Dark Magician Girl. You guys don't even have to play Robe. You guys play any other cards instead of these 4 cards right here. But I felt like these were just the best ones out of all the monsters in the deck. And Breaker within itself already has such an amazing built-in effect to just destroy a spawn trap on the field, which is really good. So that's pretty much it for the monsters. Monsters always up to personal preference, but the thing that you guys must play the most. If you guys want to build the most competitive monster lineup possible, you gotta at least include 3 Rod, 3 Apprentice Illusion, and of course 3 Dark Magician. And these 4 cards right here can be any other cards from the Legendary Dragon decks. Alright guys, for the spells, we're gonna play Triple Dark Magical Circle. This card is really amazing. This card literally helps you look at the top 3 cards of your deck to get into the resources that you need. And the secondary effect is just really powerful. The fact you're able to interrupt a lot of plays during your turn and your opponent's turn by banishing a card on the field once a Dark Magician is summoned is just really, really powerful. So Triple Dark Magical Circle. Next off, for our Surge cards, Triple Pod Duality. The reason why you play Triple Pod Duality is because you want to try to activate as many spell cards as possible during your turn, because you do play cards like Dark Magic Inheritance right here, double copy. Inheritance says that you can banish 2 spell cards in your graveyard to add any Dark Magician card directly from your deck to your hand, which is really good. So you can add cards like the Circle, you can add cards like the Eternal Soul, you can add cards like Magician Navigation. So many good things you can actually do with Inheritance. So you want to see your spell cards in your graveyard as much as possible. And the way that you can also send spell cards to the graveyard is off cards like Apprentice Illusion Magician as well, because she can ditch any card in your hand to the graveyard to basically special summon herself from your hand. So you can just ditch any spell card, special summon the Illusion Magician, and then activate Inheritance. If you have 2 or more copies of a spell, just banish 2 spells to search any other card that you're missing for your combo piece. So Inheritance is just really amazing for that. I'm just glad this card finally got a reprint. This card was just like a $10 common for no reason, so I'm glad this card finally got reprinted. You barely special summon on your turn anyways, aside from Apprentice Illusion Magician, but other than that, this card helps you dig 3 cards deeper into your deck to see the resources that you need. Double Illusion Magic. This card helps you get Dark Magician to your hand as quickly as possible. This card also helps feeds your graveyard for Inheritance. You want to activate as many spell cards as you can so Inheritance can be live during your turn. So you have cards like Illusion Magic, Pod Duality. You have cards like Apprentice Illusion Magician as well to ditch spell cards to the graveyard, so that way Inheritance can always be live. So Illusion Magic is just really good. Next off, Triple Eyes of Timaeus. You have Dark Magician Girl as a target, and you also have Dark Magician to actually bring out the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, and also the Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, which is really awesome. So Eye of Timaeus is just really good. The sad thing about this card is that this card is not searchable, so I think that maximizing the card at 3 is the best in the budget version in my personal opinion. And Eye of Timaeus literally helps you get out your Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, as quickly as possible. And once that card gets out, you're literally just winning the game. So Triple Eye of Timaeus. Next off, for our 1-ups, Dark Magic Attack and 1,000 Knives. These cards are searchable off the Eternal Soul, so you have a instant monster out to anything, and also an instant Heavy Storm directly from your deck off Eternal Soul, which is great. So that's pretty much it for the spells, guys. Spells, you guys can play whatever you guys want that's in the deck, but I believe that this is the most solid spell lineup possible with the cards given in the Legendary Dragon deck. So that's pretty much for the spells. Let's go off into our traps. Alright guys, for the traps, you guys play the standard Triple Eternal Soul. This card is like the best card in the deck. The main flaw about this deck before is that if your opponent literally kills your Eternal Soul, you literally just lose the game. If you don't have many recovery plays after Eternal Soul, you're going to lose that match. And since the release of the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, Eternal Soul will always be protected as long as this card is on the field, which is really amazing. Eternal Soul revives back a Dark Magician from the graveyard or from your hand, which is great. And Eternal Soul comboing up with the Circle is just really good. So that would be like you have a card to banish every single turn. And also remember, Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight is considered a Dark Magician in the graveyard, so you can activate Eternal Soul to revive back the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, which is really, really awesome. So that's why Eternal Soul is just really good. And also, gives you instant access to an instant monster out like 1,000 Knives, and also Dark Magic Attack directly from the deck, which is really amazing to clear back rolls. So Triple Eternal Soul, Triple Magician Navigation. This card literally tutors out a Dark Magician directly from the deck. You can also bring cards like Dark Magician Girl. If you have Eye of Timaeus to get access to Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. You can also get Breaker. You can also get Magician Rod. You can also get the Robe. You can basically get anything, and most of the time you're just going to be getting Apprentice Illusion Magician anyways. Alright guys, next up, Triple Dark Renewal. I think this card is just really, really solid in the deck, especially for the amount of normal summons that you have in the deck. You have the Robe, you have the Rod, and things like that in the decks. That way, the Dark Renewal can always be live. Dark Renewal says that when your opponent normal summons or special summon a monsters, target one of those monsters and one spellcaster monster you control. Send both monsters to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one dark spellcaster directly from your deck or graveyard. So what you can do is that you can special summon cards like Apprentice Illusion Magician directly from the deck, and then this card interrupts a lot of plays during your opponent's turn because you send the monster to the graveyard, it doesn't destroy, so any destruction effects will not trigger out because this card sends to the graveyard. Then you can special summon Apprentice Illusion Magician directly from the deck, and then trigger out its effect to search the Dark Magician. And if you have cards like Magician Navigation and things like that, Navigation will now become live because of just literally one Dark Renewal, which is really good. So Dark Renewal is essentially another card to help you get access into Dark Magician, which is really awesome because as long as you have access to Apprentice Illusion Magician, you have access to Dark Magician, which is really, really powerful. So triple renewal. And the last trap that you want to play is definitely triple Mirror Force. No need to explain there. Helps clear problematic boards and just punishes bad players that tries to overextend. So Mirror Force is just really good for that. And you play three of all these traps, which is really powerful traps. With all the cards in the Legendary Dragon decks, I believe that these cards are the most solid, 12 cards that you can play for your trap lineup. That's pretty much it for the main deck. Let's go off to the extra deck real quick. Extra deck, the boss monster himself, triple Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. You're playing triple Itemized, so why not? And you're probably going to be buying 3 of these anyways, so why not play 3 copies Dark Magician, Dragon Knight? More likely, you're only going to be needing 2 anyways, and this card, you guys don't know its effect is that it requires 1 Dark Magician and 1 Dragon type monster. Itemized is already a Dragon type monster. You just activate Itemized, send this card to the graveyard, bring a Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight out, so which is really, really powerful. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while it's on the field or in the graveyard. So, your opponent cannot target spell and traps you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent card effects, which is really amazing. So literally protects your Eternal Soul, okay? So the problem that this deck had, as I said before, is that once you get rid of the Eternal Soul, if you have no follow-up plays, you literally lose a duel. So this card literally protects Eternal Soul from being destroyed. So as long as you have Eternal Soul face up, you're going to be winning the game. So Dark Magician the Dragon Knight is just really powerful for that. I'm just glad that this card is finally out. And the artwork looks really, really beautiful, guys. And one, Dark Magician Grow the Dragon Knight. You guys can play it because you play Dark Magician in the deck. And you want Amulet Dragon to round off your extra deck. So that's pretty much it, guys. Most of the time, realistically, you're not going to be using the extra deck at all, other than going to Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. If you have already this card fixed on the field and you want to go into Dark Magician Grow Dragon Knight, you can, because you do have access if you have a Dark Magician Grow on the field. But that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what do you guys think about this deck profile in the description box below. As I said, guys, this is a budget deck profile only using 3 copies of the Legendary Dragon decks. So if you guys want to see more budget deck profiles, let me know in the comment section below. That'll be absolutely amazing. And this is Sam from Team Samurai. Sam signing out. Alright, guys. Peace.
Friends in the family, come on, do it for the friends in the family. Friends in the family, do it for the friends in the family. Friends in the family. You don't know them, you don't know me, man.
You look like a Men in Black alien trying to blend in on